Hello, my name is Chris Becker, and this is my field-based activity 2 for Schools and Society at Franciscan University with Dr. Bourne. Proposition 5, teachers are members of learning communities. Trend 4 states, describe the future school, particularly in ways to work collaboratively with parents to engage them productively in the work of the school. For this activity, I researched 2 articles. The first article, The Future of Computer Technology in K-12 Education by Frederick Bennett. In the article, Bennett explains that providing students with computers and technology is not what is consisted of a future school. Schools are wondering why scores are not improving when students are given computers and other technological devices. He states that training students, parents, administration are key in making the change to these future schools. The information goes hand in hand with the information covered in our learning sessions up until this point. He explains that there still needs to be interaction between students and teachers for this to be successful. He also shows the effectiveness of incorporating gaming in the development of future schools. He feels that this is a great way for students to engage in activities and teachers to communicate with them. Though the role of the teacher changes in these future schools, there still needs to be an interaction between students and teachers for this to be successful. The second article I researched for the activity was titled Future Schools by Jonathan Shore. In this article, it discusses the importance of technology in the classroom. Students at the lower grade levels enjoy playing games on the computer as much as they enjoy recess. Submerging students in technology is the best approach for success in these hybrid or future schools. It also talks about the importance of training across the board. Providing the technology is not enough. It also talks about the importance of incorporating gaming into lessons. Future schools are providing a more focused, individualized environment for these students that will help them prepare for the future. Shore also sees too much technology as an issue in these schools. He believes that when this occurs, focus seems to be at times chaotic. For the second part of the field-based activity 2, I will be speaking with Mike Schoaf, who is an academy leader in the special education department at the Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School. Now, Mike and I have already discussed the research that I had conducted in the 2 articles, and I have a few questions that I'm going to ask Mike. The first question, what do you feel are the most effective strategies to engage parent involvement in future schools?
Well, there's kind of 2 parts to that. As far as the future schools and how it would involve parents, I think the future schools are going to have a lot more choices for courses to specialize to some degree to what the student would like to do after high school. So right in the traditional classroom, the traditional education classroom, we have the traditional choices. Here are your social studies classes that you take in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, etc. for each subject area. The future schools are more than likely going to have a bricks and clicks component to where there are traditional teachers in the classroom, but also some additional online classes that are available too. So depending on what field you wanted to get into, it's personalized options to you so that instead of just taking this class in 9th grade, in 9th grade you can take this, or 5, 6, 7 classes. You can have a choice that best fits your needs. So to some degree, with parents, in special education we do transition planning where the parent's an integral part of making those decisions along with the student to help plan for the future. To some degree, I think that's going to happen school-wide. Everything geared toward, transition, for lack of a better term. I know that's a special education term, but transition from high school to post-secondary life.
Okay. And I think a lot of that does go hand in hand with some of the research that I looked at, making it a little bit more individualized for the students. Okay, the second question, how are these future schools preparing students for the future?
Well, not to be repetitive, I'll talk about some additional things like problem solving. There's more and more classes that are teaching students to problem solve. There's a STEM initiative going on nationwide that kind of started from President Obama. But in addition to the STEM initiative, there's a lot of problem solving because a lot of the jobs that are going to be out there don't exist yet. So with the areas of science, technology, excuse me, engineering and math, and focusing on problem solving in those areas, that helps our students be prepared for the future. Our school is creating a STEM school here in the future, and I think some other schools are developing similar programs. So I think the future school is going to have a lot of those science, technology, engineering, math types of courses that aren't typical courses in our traditional schools. Some of those might be offered in your traditional format. Others, again, might be offered online or a combination of both. But the types of classes and options are going to increase. The competition that's going on right now in schools, and it sounds odd to think of education as a business or competition, but the reality is schools are competing for their own students. Schools like ours at PA Cyber, you know, if a school district is in danger of losing students, well, they have to raise the bar in their own options and, you know, keep the kids there. So increasing more course options and programs that would keep the students there, as opposed to, excuse me, leaving to go to another school.
Okay. All right. And the last question I have: how do you feel that parents are accepting these future schools, and why they are deciding to put their children in schools like PA Cyber?
I think they're excited. It's competition's a good thing that they benefit from. You know, the fact that we're trying to stay cutting edge and ahead of everybody else, and everybody else is trying to catch up or stay ahead of us, whatever the case may be, that benefits the students and benefits the parents. If they're getting more specialized courses for what they want to do after high school and getting more options for, you know, applying to colleges. For example, if you wanted to apply to a college for engineering and you already took an engineering path in high school, we have a PA Cyber School of Engineering, for example, that's like a magnet school. So you graduate from high school from the Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School of Engineering, you're better prepared. I think the parents are excited about that.
All right. Well, I would like to thank Mr. Show for his time, and I look forward to conversations we will be having in the future. For the third section of the field-based activity 2, the analysis and teaching goals, I've come up with 3 goals that I would personally like to work on to help ensure the success of my students and help best prepare them for the future. The first goal I've come up with to work on is to engage parents in technology as well as the students, rather than going over policies and procedures once they enroll and throughout their time here at PA Cyber. This would consist of trainings, different responsibilities with the use of technology, and then also having the parents participating in online meetings as well as the students. I think that this will help prepare the parents to be able to assist their students while they're at home, you know, engaged in their school activities. The second goal that I have, that I plan on doing, is to you know, make sure that the students are as proficient as possible in the technology that they currently have, that they will be using this technology in the future, and like Mr. Schoaf had said in our interview, a lot of the jobs and training they will need does not exist yet. So having them have a good understanding of where technology is now and to watch it grow will be in their best interest, and that is a goal of mine to help the students, you know, in that area. The third goal I have is to have students more independent and motivated, and to be able to use this technology on their own without the assistance of, you know, their parents and teachers. They will know need this as a resource in the future, again, with the jobs that don't exist. So being able to navigate independently through the use of technology will greatly benefit them in the future. My references for this project consisted of 2 articles, the first being The Future of Computer Technology in K through 12 Education by Frederick Bennett, and the second, Future Schools, that was done by Jonathan Shore.